Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to From the Shadows, a limited-time Halloween-themed campaign. Now, sadly, I've actually got to this quite late because I've been out of the house for like 2 days, and, well, I completely missed this was even happening. So today, we are getting straight into this campaign as soon as possible. This may be a long video, or I may have broke it up into several pieces, which will be uploaded after Halloween. I'm really not too sure. Either way, though, I will ensure that the game doesn't update for a while as we go straight into this campaign, and let's get straight into it. So this is a fairly easy campaign, apparently, but the enemies will spawn in very high numbers incredibly quickly. It's also version 666, because why not? I haven't yet opened the campaign, so I have no idea what we're going to be facing, other than the designs, of course, have been changed to be Halloween themed. We're going to do centralized material just for this one, so we can get into this as soon as possible, and we will up the growth factor to ×2. That way the enemies will be spawning incredibly quickly, and may kill me, because if I'm going to die, I want to be killed by Halloween themed creatures. Now, there we are, we've just loaded in, and special thanks to all of these people who apparently are the ones who have created the design, so thank you to those lovely fellows. My entire fortress is painted in these awful, ugly colours. Who would think of such a thing? Wait a second, where am I anyway? In the distance, I see strange islands all around, while the horizon is illuminated in grisly colours unlike any I've ever seen before. Did that storm blow my entire fortress into uncharted waters? I'd better rebuild my fleet and investigate immediately, and that's exactly how you would think when you're panicking because I am good at voice acting totally. Oh my lord! Okay! I saw orange and I assumed, but okay. This is definitely a thing, so here's our little fortress then. Very Halloween themed indeed. So it's all, yeah, it's just Halloween themed. Let's have a quick look through. I wonder if we can walk through the whole thing. Oh lord, these colours are horribly garish. Okay, so we have our little power storage here in case our main engine goes. We do have a regular engine power somewhere. Here's our engines, a very interesting setup for them. We have some storage, we have this. I don't know what... Oh, that's our resource harvesters, just this has been painted a really bright green, so of course it's hard to see through. We have repair bots. Is this wood or metal, or what am I actually standing on right now? Only wood. Okay, that's a little bit concerning. So this whole thing is incredibly vulnerable, so we need to get building as soon as possible. And what should I build? What I can build, since I'm not really in here to be an uber-elite builder, I'm just going to build some of the designs I've already got ready. So, let's go into the Lathrix folder, and what should I build? What I think I could build, of course, is the Annoyance, which is our tiny little interceptors. These are very, very easy to make, and very, very cheap, and we can make a couple of them to defend us with their glorious missiles. So, make one of those, and that'll be our first defender. Whilst I have a look around at our defences, we have a radar dish. We are apparently here. Over here is the Coast of Eternal Slumber, which I can only just about read. We have the Siren's Call, and we have the Whisperer Wind Sea. Now, I'm not quite sure how long this campaign's going to last. I will look up details after I've done recording, but I'm hoping we can get at least a decent way through and see some of the different models. The AI is up here, and here is our control room. So, is that AI-driven up here, or is that manually controlled? Local weapon controller, fantastic, and that's an advanced cannon by the looks of things, not a particularly fast firing one. Although those are belt-fed loaders, so maybe it's a decent speed. Let's have a quick look-see. Cooldown is 0 seconds at the moment because we haven't fired it yet. As soon as we fire it, it'll tell us the true duration. There we are, and now the cooldown is 3 seconds. Yeah, we may need better weaponry. We have some missile launchers over here though, so that's good. And what they're using, they're infrared. I will swap these for the... Where are you? The one I'm looking for. The active radar seekers, because I find there's a little bit better than the infrared versions. And any other weapons? Oh, we have the huge cram cannon on the front, which I've missed like 3 times. And are you AI driven, or are you expecting me to use you? Okay, good. So all the weapons are at least driven by themselves. No need for me to intervene. That is fixing itself really slowly. Fix faster, it's only a tiny little vehicle. Now, what should I do to defend ourselves better? If I was going to want to win, which I kind of do, we could go with a minigun, or we could go with a large missile silo. The missile silo would be very good against heavily armoured opponents, or very high volume opponents, which are probably going to be the enemy type here. So maybe swap out this section up here, or perhaps add an extra section over here of our own making. Is it going purple? It's going purple. Oh, we are not in the usual place anymore. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and decide what we're going to do. Back in a second. Resource is now being harvested a little bit faster, and I've decided to go with missiles for now. I will be building an advanced cannon somewhat soon, but on the side here I am going to build a little missile silo. Most likely just a really, really basic one, to be honest, and I think it's going to have to be a little bit deeper than this. I was hoping I could stop now, that way I could preserve all this section, but I think I'm going to have to go a little bit further down, which honestly is very, very annoying, but that should do us a lot of favours, at least in terms of just having a really reliable type of weapon. Now sadly I have overdone missiles a lot in the past, I am the first to admit that to be the case, but honestly this is more for fun and I just want to kill a lot of enemies which are Halloween themed, or be killed by a lot of enemies which happen to be Halloween themed. One of the two, really. Honestly, both are completely fine by me. And I do love missiles, so I'm getting all of the good things all at once. And maybe rather than doing a 4 meter than a 1 meter, I could do a 3 and a 2 or something like that. Anyway, that's something to talk about later. So I'll break down this wall, I'll put all the AI stuff in here. Oh, no, I will not. I should have checked. Okay, so this is a very explosive room. Okay, the AI is going on the other side, and if I have some free resource, I'll add some heavy armor. No enemies just yet? Nope. What I could do as well is spawn in one of the satellites I have. I'm not sure if I saved that. If I didn't, I'll just make a new one. One of these satellites from the other campaign, which I think I ended up calling the Scrap Light. No, I didn't think so. So, I may have just grabbed the blueprint from the other campaign. Either way, though, we now have our satellite gracefully floating into the skies, able to see all around us, which is very, very nice indeed. Also, our Blood Ray is currently online and defending the waters. Okay, so we have another resource zone here. Apparently it must have seen that when it first spawned in. 2 per second growth, only 49,000 resource, so it's not huge. I'm guessing this isn't infinite. Let's just do this. I'm not clicking on that anymore. Please stop clicking on the thing I'm still clicking on. Shelter rocks, yep, I know that, but could I look at the resource zone underneath you? That would be fantastic. There we are, infinite reserve. Over here, we have one enemy of the Shadow Terrors, and that is strength 41 just on this tile. The tiles are there, yes they are. Okay, so it's gone very, very pink again. Originally I thought it was purple, now it's more of a pinky purple. I'm sure someone in the comments is very upset I'm not saying the correct colour there, but either way, it's a colour and it's very colourful, which is really weird for this game. Okay, that's high enough for now. We'll let you zoom off the other way so you don't just go into the enemy territory, so face this way this time, and then I'll respawn you so we can get as high as possible. As high as possible has been achieved, and there's also another resource zone to the left with only 4,000 in reserve. So apparently a lot of very small sections, all with only a little bit in reserve. Okay, that is very good to know indeed, and with that, let's spawn the starting fortress back into the world and back to building. And let's try to make this look a little bit less toilet-like. Beginning the toilet missile test firing. And that is pretty much what I wanted to see. Fantastic. So that's a lot of missiles, which will take a lot of ammunition, but the idea is they fire very, very slowly and will fire this entire time. Also, I've apparently at some point moved down the entire structure, and now half of my things are underwater. Because I am smart and good at this game, like. So, now we've got the boring, usual stuff out of the way. How about we build something a little bit more festive? I think we should really build something in the Halloween mood, even if this series will kind of go after Halloween. And let's build something interesting. What I think we could build, perhaps... How about we stick with a classic? What about a skeleton ship, or something like that? I have no doubt the enemy probably have something similar to this, because the whole flying ghost ship idea is not exactly something unique, but it is something I would very much like to try and build myself. So, how about we have a go at that then? And we could make it so it has a wooden hull. That would look really cool, making it like a broken wooden hull. It's not exactly something which would do very well, but considering this is a... Oh my lord, that is blue. But considering this is a themed campaign, why not, eh? If there's any time to be a little bit silly with your builds, I think now is the time. So I'm going to go ahead and build a basic base, and then we can figure out how we're going to do this. It's kind of weird, but I haven't built a boat now in about over a month, actually. Way over a month, actually. This is going to be really weird. What on earth is going on with this weather? Are those waves actually physically affecting things? Oh my lord, they are. Okay, so this is the most extreme weather I've ever seen in From the Depths. That is really trippy and probably rendering really poorly on YouTube. But either way, wow, this is going to be a bad time to build things in the water. Thankfully, you can now actually float things even in the campaign, so thank you very much to the developer that allowed that. I think this is the type of size we should really be going with the boat, so this and then maybe an extra third on the back, of course, to round things off, and then we can use... We could make it a broadside. If we made it a broadside, it would make it significantly harder on myself, but it would really fit the theme, and missiles really wouldn't. So people who don't want to see missiles, you can be very, very happy knowing that that's probably not going to happen, but no promises, because making promises is never a good idea when you don't know if you can actually fulfill them. There we are, do that. I'll round all this off in a second. Why am I doing singles when we have this available to us? I guess because I'm a little bit nervous. Whenever I start off a new campaign, I don't know what's going to happen. I get very nervous thinking, oh lord, please can I survive at least one night? Because I have no idea if I can survive one night when I have no idea of the enemies. What I could have done, of course, is went into the vehicle designer, I'm assuming, and then we could have checked that. Wait, don't they have any... Oh, I didn't even realise they only have... the diagonal cut in ×4. Well, that's annoying, because it means I am actually going to have to do that. It looks fine, nothing too out of the ordinary, I suppose. And that'll be our deck, so I guess the cannons will go underneath the deck? Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am building something I have no experience with when I'm kind of rushing. That's just not a smart idea. I'm not sure if it's the pink smog clouding my judgment, but I have had a bit of an idea, and I'm not sure if it's a really good idea or a really, really bad idea. So the idea I've had, to stop beating around the bush, is we could turn this into a floating ship. We could make it a Flying Dutchman type of thing. Now doing this means I can actually avoid the water, which isn't a bad idea at the moment, considering the water seems honestly a little bit terrifying. But at the same time, if we do this, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get this thing working quickly. So I will have to keep on working on this and probably weather the first attack without any type of vehicle assistance other than our one single flyer. So I'm really not sure about that. I also really dislike how I'm doing the back right now, so that's going to be changed. Either way though, not sure, but certainly something to think about. Look, I have sails, and they look really, really odd, and I will fix them to look a little bit more natural in a while. I just wanted them down. I'm still not certain if I'm going to make this thing fly or not, but I'm fairly certain what we're going to do is go with cram cannons as the main weapon type, just because they look the most authentic, at least in terms of actually looking like a proper cannon. The sails are also sort of getting me further and further away from our main base, which is perfectly fine as well, as I don't currently have them being controlled by any form of AI, so they're just kind of doing whatever they want to do. And honestly, I might just keep them like that and then have propellers underneath the water if we don't go for a flying option. 2 enemies are now heading towards us, and it turns out when you're trying to build something in a rush, and you're trying to build something to a certain theme, it may not always turn out as well as you'd hoped. Thankfully, the really creepy green water certainly looks really cool right now to make everything look a little bit better, but this is what I've got at the moment. Yeah, the ribcage is a little bit too big and everything else looks... I mean, it could be worse. The basic shape is getting there, but it's just a floating piece of wood at the moment with absolutely no functionality. I think what we're going to have to do is quickly make a second blood ray, put this on hold to be built afterwards, and then after this wave, we can hopefully have a little bit more time to build this. This is why people tend to build in the sandbox, a little bit less pressure. Now, for the main colour, before we do that, how about if we just make it darker? That does look better. That does look instantly a little bit better than the very light wood we were just facing. And then maybe some like glowing lights, either a very light green or a very light blue. I think that would also look really, really cool. Let's go with the neon lights because they're nice and flat and easy to hide afterwards. Let's put one here for now. Full intensity because why not? How about blue? How about like a lighter blue, something like that? That does look fairly creepy. Okay, we'll go with that. And now I'll go ahead and make myself another interceptor to see if we can at least defend one wave of enemies. The second of our blood rays was made just in time, and we are now going to fight the cauldrons versus our 2 blood rays, and of course the starting fortress. I don't really have too much hope here, but if we survive, that's a really good thing. Begin the battle. So let's have a quick look-see at what the enemy are even like, and why has only one of them spawned in? Allow everything, please. Thank you. Oh, those are meant to be spoons. Is that going to stay with the enemy, or is it going to fly off? It looks like that's probably completely capable of flight on its own right, and it does have missile launchers, so that is actually a flyer. And then we have the cauldron on a little raft here, which has some advanced cannons. Okay then, come on interceptors, you've surprised me in the past. Please surprise me now. Okay, you're not targeting because you're too far away, I'm assuming. Otherwise, something's going horribly wrong. Okay, you are firing! Wow, those spoons have a lot of missiles. And all of them missed. Uh-oh. Nope, because they're not even going for our interceptors, they're going for our base, which is also spewing out missiles and hitting the enemy cauldron. Missiles on missiles here. Oh, no, 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 no. Yes! Yes, you lovely little interceptors! I love you to bits! You're so good at just defying No, don't hit each other. Thank you! You've got better AI now, I did improve that. As you can see, they tried to dodge each other. The cauldrons are healing each other, which is really annoying, but this one is starting to sink. We've done some damage to it. Mostly from our... Oh, thank you again, dodging. Mostly from our starting fortress. The missiles of the interceptor are incredibly weak, because they only have 1 warhead, but they are doing the job. As long as they can keep on dodging the really slow-turning missiles of the spoons, which thankfully are having a real tough time. Remember, these interceptors are actually quite hard to detect with radar, and because they look like they're using radar detection, they're not really having an easy time following our interceptors, and because the interceptors are distracting the enemy, we may win. Although we have taken a hit on this interceptor, thankfully that's the one I'm on board, so I can speed up the repair process. Darn it, our starting fortresses just took several hits from the cauldron. In fact, I haven't seen our starting fortress fire in quite some time. I'm a little bit worried about that. Let's pause time and have a quick look-see. Why aren't you firing? Missile system is not functioning because of only 1 block of damage. Okay, in that case I'm going to jump on board and do some mid-battle repair work. Oh dear. We just got a hit somewhere I really didn't want to see a hit. Okay, so you should be repaired, so should you. No mainframe connection because the mainframe is nowhere to be seen. Okay, that's really bad. We have nowhere near enough firepower to win this. We might actually lose, and if we lose, we'll have to restart the campaign. Maybe I shouldn't have focused on building a silly ship and actually focused on building proper ships with functional components. Or maybe I shouldn't have doubled the difficulty. You know, that thing so we were attacked twice as early as we should have been. Imagine this fight now, but us with 4 interceptors. Or us with just a much better upgraded starting fortress. I think I've been very silly with this. But don't worry, if we do lose, that poor interceptor, if we do lose, I will simply start again straight away, and that will be part 2. It's taking a long time, but we are slowly but surely losing. We do have repair bots, don't we? Okay, I'm going to jump back onto the starting fortress, which has actually taken way more damage than I thought. Oh, it doesn't even matter if we have repair bots right now. This is really, really bad.
Listening.
We could jump off and try and capture one of the cauldrons. If we do that, we might still win. But that seems like a really cheap tactic. But it would be a tactic which would make sense. Okay, let's just allow ourselves to keep with that. And we're going down. Hello, cauldron. I am a pirate. Yarhar. Okay. If I were an AI on a giant floating cauldron, where would I be? We've actually done a fair bit of damage to this. I don't think we would have killed the spoons, but I think this fortress... It's such a weird thing to say, but I think this particular cauldron would have been killed. Now, where on earth is the things I want to hit? It's right there. Okay, so just over there. Hello, apparently the AI is underneath here. Can you confirm? Now, I could, of course, use the stupid glitch at the moment in which I can do basically infinite shots with the grenade, but I am above that. We're already doing a cheap tactic in trying to capture one of the enemies. I don't think I want to go any further than that, and this is taking way longer than I originally thought it would. Come on, metal, break apart. Maybe I should put the minigun back on my hotbar. That would be great. Come on. Loud noises. Okay, I've done it. I do have the cauldron. The cauldron is mine. Hurrah for that. So, that will at least act as a distraction. How's everything doing? Not overly well. Let's get on to one of our interceptors. Okay, so that cauldron is going to be a fantastic distraction. Missiles going down and not really doing as much as I would hope. I may quickly change the missiles we're using. So, currently our missile setup is really basic. It looks like this. But we do not need 2 fuel tanks. Our fighting right now is ridiculously close quarters, so let's put them both on 1 instead of that and change, and then let's jump over to the other interceptor and do the same thing. We will survive this. I'm now a little bit more certain than I was a moment ago. Though, to be fair, a moment ago I thought we were definitely dead. Now, I kind of wish I didn't capture. Oh my lord, you're flying without a back section. This is why I like you! Interceptors, you keep doing stuff like this. Uh-oh, we've lost our starting fortress. Goodbye. You have failed! Well, I did not know that. Now, remember about 5 seconds ago when I said I was a little bit more confident? Don't take that to heart. Apparently, though, we should survive 10 hours, and that is what should be averaged. We've been doing this for an hour. So, what have we learned? The enemy are going to attack us really quickly on this mode. This is a complete failure. I did a lot of stupid things, but I am keeping this. The next episode, we will start again, and hopefully we will be victorious. The interceptors were a fun choice, but not really something we should have chosen. I think just upgrading the starting fortress would have been a lot smarter, adding an advanced cannon, a rapid-fire one, and perhaps a more defended missile section, rather than focusing on building a silly boat. We will still build the silly boat, but we'll do that in times of peace. Or perhaps I'll do it off camera so we can spawn it in straight away, because apparently this is a bit of a gauntlet. We've only saw 1 of the enemies, hopefully we will see more in the future. So thank you for watching. The next episode should be very, very soon. Goodbye.